Sea Monster Spring. Springtime for sea monsters. Sea Monster Spring with the sphere. Okay, let's go. I keep getting invited to things I would never attend, but maybe making myself unavailable makes me seem more popular or desirable than I actually am, more exciting than I actually am. The most recent thing was a rave at a Dave & Buster's. So first of all, you're like, well, you're not that cool if it's just a rave at a Dave & Buster's. You're not that cool if you're just being invited to a Dave & Buster's. But I didn't know that after hours, Dave & Buster's was being rented out for these rave parties.
Crack open a cold box of wine or pour something cold on ice because it's the Binge-Watchers podcast.
Kind of a wild thing. All right, home video headlines. Ryan Gosling Star Wars is called Star Wars Starfighter. Hey, we already had the last Starfighter, so what could this one possibly be about? Are they just going to steal the story from the last Starfighter and stick it into a Star Wars movie? I don't know, but it takes place after Episode 9, so we're going to see its future Star Wars stuff, right? We know there's the main continuity, and a lot of stuff is jammed in between the movies that we already know, the classic ones. But this one's going to go far out there, man. At the end of the timeline. Also, Ryan Gosling producing the Killer Klowns from Outer Space sequel seems treacherous. I don't know. Is he a super fan? I mean, the only thing is about anybody helping produce that show for the Chioda brothers or movie, it seems like it's going to be a show instead of a movie, but who's ever taken on Killer Klowns 2 better be a Killer Klowns fan, better know everything to know about that fucking movie. Otherwise, they're going to ruin the fucking thing. Anyway, see, I'm a passionate fan. You see, you heard that one, huh? Double F-bombs in this one, right up at the top. I don't know. I mean, of the Ryans, like if Ryan Reynolds was doing it, I'd be like, oh, this is going to suck, But Gosling, maybe there's an opportunity. He was funny in that movie where he's the detective, you know? He's funny in the movie where he's dating a sex doll. I think it's called Lars. Is that what it's called? But see, I just don't know, man. Man, he was funny in the Stuntman movie that just came out. That the Fallout, is it not Fallout? Fall Guy, adapted from the TV show, but they made a movie recently with Emily Blunt, I think. And the movie's actually not bad, but because it's coming out of the modern glaze over of all the streamers, it's probably like blink and you miss it or watch it and forget it, kind of. But what is he gonna do with Killer Klowns? Dang, man, I don't know, man. There's a couple franchises I'm kicking myself in the foot for being not as well known. Like I would have loved to have done the modern Ninja Turtles, the Highlander. What else? The RoboCop. There's been a few other stuff that's. Oh, I probably could have saved the Crow. But anyway, he, having Gosling take on Killer Klowns, it's nice to have a big name, I guess. But it's such a weird B movie thing that like fanboys grew up watching on TV that you just want a specific person to do the next Killer Klowns. Anyway, Mosquito Bowl is coming out. It's a World War II football drama from director Peter Berg at Netflix. Peter Berg, you might know he's done like Very Bad Things. He did Hancock. He did Deepwater Horizon, Lone Survivor. So, he's been a director kicking around. He's done some interesting things. Very Bad Things goes way back. Christian Slater, and it's like an indie drama, and it's kind of an interesting plot. Like buddies go to Vegas during a bachelor party, and things turn very bad. Right, very bad things. Anyway, and obviously Deepwater Horizon is based on the real tragedy of the BP oil spill and the people that got stuck on the oil rig. Hancock is the funny black Superman with Wolf. Can't even say his name because he's cursed. He's kicked out of the Actors Union. No, maybe not the Actors Union, but kicked out of the Academy Awards, whatever their group is called. Will Smith. Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite Will Smith movies, actually, playing Hancock. And it's got also Jason Bateman, Charlize Theron. It's basically like there's another life form that's very human-like but has superpowers, and we've written about them in history as like demigods and stuff like that, but if they get too close together, they'll lose their powers. I don't know. Spoiler alert, go watch Hancock, whatever. Alright. Trivia time. Or what's the night's movie? A spaceship is discovered under 300 years worth of coral at the bottom of the ocean. It's the Sphere. Should I immediately say how stacked the cast is? Dustin Hoffman, who you might know from Rain Man, Captain Hook and Hook, played a miserable misanthrope, but who becomes a hero in Hero. He's also cool as the dad in the Meyerowitz stories. That's more of a more modern one that he's in. He's in a lot of stuff. He's in the Fockers movies as Daddy, Granddaddy Fokker. Anyway, Samuel L. Jackson, Snakes on a Plane, Die Hard 3, Deep Blue Sea. A lot of people probably know him as Nick Fury. He's in this Sphere as a mathematician. Liev Schreiber, you might have seen in Goon, Spotlight, or Last Days on Mars. Sharon Stone from The Quick and the Dead, Alpha Dog, and Broken Flowers. She's in this. Peter Coyote, who played the government goofball government agent, I don't know, Men in Black spook from E.T. He also plays the rival lawyer in Aaron Brockovich. Queen Latifah pops up in this. You might know her from Set It Off or Bringing Down the House. Ton of other things. There's a Huey Lewis cameo, from Huey Lewis in the News. He's the helicopter pilot who opens the movie talking to Dustin Hoffman's character about what mission they're on and where they're going. The film was shot in warehouses with specifically constructed water tanks rather than being filmed on the high seas because Warner Brothers didn't want to repeat the mistakes they made with Waterworld in 1995. Joseph Hahn, who's part of Linkin Park, designed the sea snake through some concept art. I thought that was kind of a wild fact. I had no idea there was a Linkin Park connection to the way the monsters are designed in this movie. The jellyfish attack sequence used a combination of puppets, computer graphics imagery, and footage of real jellyfish filmed at a nearby aquarium. The footage of real jellyfish was played at 3 to 5 times its normal speed to make the jellyfish appear more aggressive. Barry Levinson said he had been inspired to write the basic plotline for his subsequent film Liberty Heights, based on a bad review of Sphere for Entertainment Weekly. Or, that was in Entertainment Weekly. Now, there is a book. It has more Navy men doing weird things. There's another biologist. The main character talks to the Sphere, and then the Sharon Stone character in the book keeps the power, supposedly. Because at the end, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, they go, oh, the powers from the Sphere is just too great for humanity to handle. They're not ready for it. Case in point, a spaceship we build that finds it, that sends it back to the past, all the pilots are dead on the spaceship, and all the humans that have gone to the bottom of the sea to interact with it have fucked up, and they're mostly dead. So, this amazing power to imagine things and bring it into fruition, into reality or whatever, we can't handle it, let's let it go. So they make a deal at the end, okay, yeah, we're going to use it one more time, we're going to make ourselves forget that we had the power. But then, I guess the book suggests that one of the characters doesn't quite give up the power. Listen, Michael Crichton, I tried to read Jurassic Park, I don't think I got through that thing. I did read Eaters of the Dead, which, gets adapted into the 13th Warrior. Man, I remember reading Eaters of the Dead, and I didn't think that the Cave Clan was necessarily Neanderthal, but other people that have evaluated the book and the movie have suggested that they are Neanderthals. Do I think they're troglodytes? Sure, they're some kind of cave-dwelling clan, maybe, but were they specifically Neanderthal DNA? I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, Eaters of the Dead. It also includes, diary entries from a Muslim priest or whatever who was assigned to interact with the Rus, which was a Viking tribe, and it's his accounts of dealing with them in trade and commerce or something, and that's included in the story of the Eaters of the Dead. And then, of course, the back end of it is adapted from Beowulf. I'm talking about a different Michael Crichton book while trying to talk about a different Michael. It's hilarious. I'm diverging and going on a tangent about Eaters of the Dead when I'm supposed to be talking about the Sphere. All right. It's hard to say. Sphere. Veer. Anyway. Alright, we'll be right back with our favorite bits from the Sphere. Right after we talk to you about tonight's messages. Tonight we're brought to you by Hymns again. Hymns. And the promo code for that is BWPod. We'll be right back. to the show already in progress right after these messages. All right, where are we at? Here we go. Tonight's messages. Men, if ED is getting you down, you need HIMS to get your confidence and other things back up. HIMS provides access to treatments that can help you stay hard and last longer so you can be ready whenever the mood strikes. HIMS is changing men's healthcare, providing you with access to affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your couch. HIMS provides access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable tablets, Viagra and Cialis, and their generics for up to 95% less. The process is 100% online, so there's no need for uncomfortable doctor's visits. Just fill out the intake form on their site, and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you with free shipping. No insurance is needed, and one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. With hundreds of thousands of trusted prescribers or subscribers, with hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, HIMS can help you find the ED option that works for you. And here's their call to action, baby. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/BWPod. That's HIMS.com/BWPod. For your personalized ED treatment options, hims.com/BWPod. The features products include compounded products which are not approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Prices vary based on product and subscription. I'm out of breath. Let me take a deep breath. Let me swallow something that gets me hard out of this bottle right here. And then we'll be back to the show already in progress with our favorite bits from the Sphere. Again, isn't sphere a weird thing to say? I'm just saying, it's a weird word. This is just my lisp, my speech impediment. I'm the only one who can't crack that word, sphere. All right, favorite bits from Sphere. I like the design of the ship. Let me back up. I like the design of the ship, the sphere itself. I like the habitat that's underwater. The giant squid, hello. When Samuel L. Jackson's character is changed by the sphere, like, he comes back and his whole personality is shifted. So he did a pretty good job portraying, like, the two versions of his personality, like personality type A and personality type B, right? You're actually, like, afraid of him when he comes back, or you're, like, weirded out, and you think he's the one that's cracked when he comes back, and before he was very by the book, right? He's a mathematician. It was cool to see Sharon Stone lose it in this movie. Her character suffers from mental problems, but it was intriguing plot points and just ratcheted up the tension to make anything interesting happen. Now, binge later, or binge never. We like to say watch it now, get around to it, or never watch this thing, you can't get the time back. I feel like there's missing scenes. Every time I watch it, I feel like it has missing parts, or there's elements that aren't there, but passing time is part of, like, the plot device. It seems like that, like they're making time pass as they're underwater for a certain amount of time. However, just every time I watch it, I feel like there's missing scenes. Like, there's material here that got cut out, or they didn't develop, or they didn't even actually write it into the movie and do it. It's just like, it literally feels like there's missing scenes to the movie. So, I mean, I gotta leave it as, like, ultimately a binge later. Because I like the actors, right? I like the setting. I like the tone. I just feel like it's missing pieces. It's almost a complete movie and would have been a better movie. So get around to it. It doesn't have to be at the top of your playlist, right? That's reserved for better movies. But, if you're like, what's one more thing at the bottom of the sea that is a thriller at the bottom of the ocean? Hey, have you seen The Sphere? All right. Fan service. If the fans are chiming in, what are they saying to me? What are they doing now? I'm going to probably butcher this username. Sista Soldier 89. Sista Soldier 89. 89, the number I can read. Sista Soldier 89. Or Soldier, like the rapper. I don't know. Sista, but the word sister there implying female. Maybe, I guess. Sista Soldier 89. Hard-handled to say. But they're asking what Pirates movies I like. I assume they mean Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley. Is that her name? I like the first one. And the last one. So the first one is the original, obviously Black Pearl. And I think the last one's like at the bottom of the ocean, or like there's some weird thing where they got like the trident, and they bring in I can't think of the guy's name, but he's the Hispanic or Spanish actor from No Country for Old Men. He plays the Anton Sugar. But what I can't think of the actor's name, but anyway, so Javier Bardem. So Javier Bardem shows up, and he's got some beef, with old Jack Sparrow, and he's hunting him down. And he's actually scary. Like he's the guy that probably should have played Davy Jones, and it's a very Davy Jones like character. Like if you watch the Davy Jones character in the other episodes, and they got beef with Jack Sparrow, Javier Bardem brings like an intensity like that. So it's actually kind of a scary villain. But then they also brought back the human version of Captain Barbossa. Again, I can think of the characters' names before I can do the actors' names. Anyway, great British actor comes back as Captain Barbossa, the human version, and spoiler alert, there's some sacrifice in this movie, and it's pretty compelling. And also, how could a sequel be when it's like the 6th or 7th sequel, but it's actually pretty good? There you go. Those are my two favorites: the most recent one, and then the original. Thank you for giving me a movie related question. Like often the questions or the fan comments have nothing to do with movies. All right. Staff picks. If you don't like the movie of the week, what can I recommend if you're not going to watch The Sphere? The Sphere? The Sphere? The Sphere? What can we say? I mean, I mentioned a bunch of other movies the actors are in. You can watch any of those. But no, in all reality, let's see. What can I recommend as a staff pick? Season 8 of The Office. It's got some hidden gem episodes, and it's got the alternative boss, as I like to call James Spader's character. Look at it. I recently ranked them by rewatches. Anyway, you can dig up my blog article on that. I'm trying to pump. Yeah, I'm pimping the blog. Why not? And, I tried to watch this thing called Don't Suck, but it sucks. You know what this movie is? Don't Suck. It's like there's a vampire who wants to be a comedian for some reason, and then Jamie Kennedy is the comedian who has to work for the vampire comedian. But, dude, I couldn't get past the credit sequence in the beginning of the movie. I watched the first couple scenes, and fuck it. Fuck that movie. I wanted to like it. The premise is kind of cool. Vampire comedian. Cool. All right. All right. Do you believe in background movies? I don't know if you do. It's like comfort movies to throw on when you're working. Like if you're doing, I don't know, spreadsheets or emails or paying bills. Fucking bills. Sometimes in the background I'll throw on like a movie like This Is 40. So do you do that? Do you throw movies on in the background, or you're just trying to get chores done or whatever? The new Black Mirror season, fucking awful. I wanted to like that one. I'm supposed to give you recommendations. These are staff picks, right? It's like I'm actually kind of bitching about things not to watch rather than telling you what to take a look at. Obviously, well, the best of the new season is probably the sequel to whatever that Star Trek one was, Callister 1 or whatever it is, Calypso 1 or whatever, Infinity and Beyond, who knows. I wanted to do this kind of like Final Girl Spring. I'm doing Sea Monster Springs, but I wanted to do this Final Girl Spring. But I feel like I've already seen all the best Final Girl movies, including, these Final Girls, like Tree from Happy Death Day, obviously entries like Sidney Prescott and Laurie Strode, the girl from the original Friday #1, and also the psychic girl from Friday 7, pretty compelling Final Girls. Then the sister from Child's Play 2, I think the sister's name was Kyle or Kylie or whatever, but it's played by Christine Elise. So the sister from Child's Play 2, the niece obviously in Halloween 4 and 5, Jamie, played by Danielle Harris. I've been singing the praises of Danielle Harris in Halloween 4 and 5 forever. I think maybe my all-time favorite actually though is Alice from Nightmare 4 and 5, played by Lisa Wilcox. Watch those two back to back. A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and Part 5. See what she does with Alice as a final girl, and I think you'll appreciate why I'm saying she's my tops. I was trying to say, including the Final Girls movie. I don't know if you've seen that, but there's a movie called The Final Girls where the daughter of an actress who played a final girl in an 80s horror movie gets sucked into that 80s slasher and then becomes the final girl. And so that whole thing, that whole concept is a great entry for if you were trying to do like a final girl spring or summer playlist of final girl movies. Yeah, that's that. Listen, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Watch some of these movies or get out there. Let me know what you're up to.